The Rastafari movement is a cultural counter-revolutionary movement in South Africa. It had the pieces of political liberation movement, got the pieces of cultural spiritual movement, got the pieces of influence of reggae. But the Rastafari movement in South Africa also was part of the anti-apartheid liberation struggle. There were many reggae bands during apartheid days. There were many activists as Rastafarians, but they were not popular by then. You can say Rastas were not, they were seen as people who were not allowed to be around the community. They were ostracized. But Rastafari and reggae music in South Africa, you can pick it up in the late 60s, the late 70s, the late 80s. Hence, there's a word that Rastafari is in transition. In every continent, in every village, in every town, in every city, Rastafari transition in many forms. So in South Africa, the beginning was a bit shaky and grounded with politics of being relevant, of relevancy. And most of the Rastafarian activists were killed as part of the political struggle. Some Rastafarians were killed as cultural activists. Some Rastafarians were killed as reggae artists. And they were killed physically and spiritually. Their music was no longer played. They were not allowed to use marijuana. But in the 21st century, Rastafarian movement in South Africa, they are free to use marijuana privately. They are able to have their reggae festivals. They are able to work in the government system, what we call administration of Babylon. Rastafarians are working. So we are part of the system. And for you, like Walter Rodney said, for you to overthrow the system, you must be part of the system. So that's how many Rastafarians in South Africa, we even call them Rastafari millenniums. You know, they're the millennium Rastafari. They're the 21st century Rastafari who are in transition. And that's where South Africa becomes the epicenter of South, keep not back. The origin in Jamaica connected South Africa and Jamaica through Kimberley. So there's so many Rastafarians, they still go to Jamaica. Jamaicans, they still feel that repatriation in Africa is in South Africa. So that's how we relate. And Rastafari is still in transition in South Africa and in Africa.